I think there's a lot to talk about with Moon Knight. Episode 1, this will contain spoilers. So again, warning on that. We're going to talk about spoilers for Moon Knight. I want to just start with just getting your really quick take on whether or not you liked Moon Knight and to what degree. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Moon Knight is the best episode. Moon Knight episode 1, the Goldfish Problem, the name of the episode, is the best opening episode of any MCU series from Disney Plus.
How dare you, sir? Just shots fired. Just shots fired from the first question.
That means I think, generally speaking, most people are put off by episode 1 of WandaVision. I love the whole series as a whole. I love episode 1 of WandaVision, but it doesn't appeal to a ton of people, and I get that. Loki, I think, is the other one that had like the best episode 1.
Yeah.
But Moon Knight is fantastic in a lot of different ways. It brings a brand new character, so you had to kind of slow down the pace because we don't know this character as our protagonist. It gave us the antagonist of the show, at least who we think is the main antagonist of the show at this point. It gave us a glimpse into the life of somebody with a serious chronic illness, if you want to call it that, dissociative identity disorder.
Right.
It had elements of suspense and mystery.
Yep.
Comedy. And I think it did comedy in a different way than what the MCU typically does.
Yeah.
Horror.
Yep.
And also a bit of drama.
Yeah.
I think it did all that stuff in 35 minutes or whatever the actual runtime of the episode is.
Right.
I think it is absolutely fantastic. This is right up my alley. And to the same idea with Star Wars. I think that Star Wars, I'm so tired of the Luke Skywalker and his world coming up. And I know that is, I mean, anything. If I just mention the word Star Wars and somebody's going to have a panic attack. You know, like somebody's like, oh, a guy with an opinion about Star Wars. But like, I'm so sick of Luke.
You Ryan Johnson shill. You Ryan Johnson shill you.
Yeah, right. But like, but the like the first season of The Mandalorian was so fantastic because it was like, this feels like Star Wars, but we're getting so far away from what has been Star Wars. It felt really refreshing.
Right.
And then when they brought back in Luke Skywalker, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you did it. You found a way to bring him back in.
Yeah.
Like this feels the same way. It feels like I know what the MCU looks like. I know how it works, even when it's way outlandish. I know what the MCU looks like. This didn't feel like anything we've ever seen before. It felt really different, at least for it felt much more like the Netflix Marvel shows. But still even disconnected from those. And I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm in agreement with almost all of that. I still prefer the first episode of Loki, but like barely. Like I really liked. In fact, I've been surprised with some of the reviews that are not as favorable for Moon Knight. Because I think I also agree with you that it has a shot right now at easily surpassing WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, which are both extraordinarily good shows, right? Like, so the fact that it could surpass those with what it's been giving us thus far is pretty remarkable. Now, I know that a lot of the critics have seen more episodes of the show than we have, so maybe there's some weirdness that turns up in there somehow. But I could not agree with you more. I think the other two things I'd add to the conversation are that they sure as hell picked some amazing actors to be in this thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Oscar Isaac is phenomenal. Complete redemption from, which is not his fault at all, but complete redemption from his Apocalypse appearance. X-Men? Yeah, it wasn't his fault. We all know it wasn't his fault. That was just a weird movie. But he does amazing. The fact that and I cannot wait to see him switch between the characters. I mean, this is just an actor's dream probably, and Oscar is just so good there. The other thing I thought was just phenomenal was that I mean, Ethan Hawke seems to me like this guy who's had this amazing career in Hollywood and yet has like only flirted with being like A-list, if you want to define it as that. Like,
Yeah.
and to see
Underrated.
him underrated, yeah. And to see him in this role, having completely given up on his like younger self's like leading man, like the handsome guy, like now he's literally like the charismatic but chilling villain is like, wow, dude, that's awesome. Like, look at the evolution of his career. And he's just killing it. He's just killing it in episode 1. So the acting was even the I love the performance. I think it's underrated actually, because I haven't heard many people talk about it. But I love the performance of Oscar Isaac, Steven's supervisor at the museum. She's perfect. Yeah, she's so good. She's so good in that little role. And so I can't say enough good things about this.